Hello there. We are going to cover batteries today. We talked a little bit about it, but we're going to go through the note sheet and talk about a few other things that are important with the battery. And as we go through this, remember that we will be talking about the different cells, the general layout of the battery. Okay, there are 6 cells throughout the battery. Okay, each one has roughly about 2.1 volts with it. Okay. That gives us that 12.6 voltage overall that this battery puts out. Okay. Your serviceable batteries have these maintenance plugs on them or vent plugs on the top that also allow you to look in to see the electrolyte level in each cell. We have top post, and we also have our top post and side terminal batteries. As we go through, we need to understand the positive and negative side of each and how that relates to how we're going to use it and connect it to the vehicle. Your battery is an electrochemical device that produces and stores direct current, electricity. The charging system output must also be DC in order to recharge the battery. Okay. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, how is that possible? Well, if you have rechargeable batteries at the house that you plug into a wall, there is a converter and a series of rectifiers in that little device that recharges your batteries to convert that AC electricity to DC to charge your rechargeable batteries. Okay? That is no different for your car batteries. Or if you have or know someone that has a hybrid or electric vehicle, the unit that they have at the house that they plug into the wall, whether it's a home station or the power cords they plug in, okay, that converts that electricity from AC to DC to safely power that battery. All batteries are direct current. Okay. Repeated heavy discharging, current flowing out, and charging, current flowing in of a battery is called cycling the charge. If this process happens often, the battery will be ruined. Okay? So think about if you leave your lights on and your battery goes dead, and then that's the heavy discharging, and then you charge it all the way up, then you leave your lights on again, and you completely discharge it again. Okay? That is cycling. That's heavy cycling, okay? And that can ruin your battery or shorten the life of that battery. Number 3, batteries operate the electrical system during the cranking and starting and whenever the engine is off. Okay? So if your vehicle is not running, your battery is what's powering the lights and your radio in your vehicle. Okay? That battery also is what helps start that vehicle in the wintertime. And that cranking, when you turn it over to start it, that's where that comes from. All that power comes from the battery. Number 4, as the engine runs, the charging system supplies vehicle electrical voltage. Okay? It also recharges the battery. Typically, if you were to test this, and we do this in the Autos 2 course, is we will test this charging system to see how much it outputs. Okay? If it doesn't output high enough, it can't charge the battery or fulfill the electrical needs of the vehicle, and ultimately your battery will die, and so will your vehicle. The battery negative plates, okay, are made of porous lead, and positive plates, okay, I'm sorry, the negative plates are made of porous plastic, okay, and the positive plates are made of lead sulfate, okay, alloyed with calcium or aluminum to increase performance and decrease gassing. And we will talk more about gassing, and that's with the vent plates as we go forward. Okay. So we have porous plastic and lead sulfate. Number 6, within the polypropylene battery case, polypropylene is a certain type of plastic. Okay. Separators keep the positive and negative plates from touching each other. Okay. This would internally short circuit the battery and ruin it if these separators, okay, were not there. So you have your polypropylene case or your plastic case, and then inside you have these separator mats. These white pieces separate the positive and negative poles together. Number 7, Okay, hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas around the battery is explosive. Okay, and the battery electrolyte is acid and corrosive. So that electrolyte mixture is made of acid, and its electrochemical response, okay, produces a gas. That gas is a hydrogen gas. Okay? It typically vents right around the terminals or the top post. If it has vent caps, which we talked about in the very beginning, it can also vent out of those. Okay? That if you were to have a spark or a flame near a battery, it could create the potential for an explosion or fire. Electrolyte is the mixture of the acid and water inside a lead acid battery. Okay? Your typical lead acid batteries is known as flooded cell batteries or serviceable wet cell batteries. Okay? Both of those are the same. And that electrolyte mixture is what floods the cells. Okay? It also what makes it a wet cell battery. That battery electrolyte, okay, is made up of 36% sulfuric acid and 64% water, okay, or H2O. When you are messing with batteries or servicing them, make sure you have your safety glasses on and your gloves on. Okay, a little bit of acid on your fingers. You might notice little white spots where they kill the skin cells during that point. Okay, if you have an open cut, it'll really burn. If you get it on your clothes, you might notice little spots or holes develop in your clothing where the acid wears a hole in it or eats a hole into it. Okay. All right, vehicle battery cables connect either to top posts, like these here, or side terminals on the battery. Depending on your make and model is going to determine whether you have top post or side terminals. This battery is an example. It's dual purpose. It has both top post and side terminals. The battery cable color is negative for black. Black is negative and red is positive in most instances. Now, there are some older vehicles and European vehicles that this may be reversed or both cables just might be black. Number 12, okay, batteries have 6 cells, okay, roughly 2 volts each, okay, connected in series. They go one from the other to produce 12 volts. Okay? Typically, each cell has 2.1 volts, giving us 12.6 volts total for a fully charged battery. Now, in series means that if any one of these connections are separated, this entire battery is dead. Think about older Christmas lights. If you've ever worked with friends or family, if one light bulb goes out, the whole string goes out. That is considered series. Number 13. Okay, for heavy duty uses like plow trucks, large industrial vehicles or equipment, okay, 2 batteries are connected in parallel. Okay, positive to positive. So if you see down, the positive flows in, flows through here, okay, and that's how the circuit will roll. Okay, they'll flow in and then come out the ground, come in, come out the ground. Okay, they will provide more current output, but still keep the battery voltage at 12 volts. Number 14, batteries last longer if they are properly held down to prevent movement and if they are kept insulated from excess underhood heat. Number 15, maintenance-free batteries do not have removable filler caps. Okay? So if we look here, we see this little cap that is on the top of the battery of your conventional battery. Okay? That is your conventional flooded or wet cell battery. Okay? Again, terms. Both of these are flooded batteries. This one is serviceable This flooded battery is not. Okay? It is maintenance free. There is no service porch to check. This one up here is also maintenance free. It also says maintenance free right on it. Okay? There's no checks that you'll need to do on this one. Okay? On this conventional battery, every so often you would need to pull these caps and inspect the electrolyte mix within the battery. A gel battery is a battery with a lead acid battery with an electrolyte paste that is on the cells. Where this one, if you shake it, you will hear the liquid move about. This is like a paste slurry spread about on the plates. These can go in multiple positions. Your conventional flooded batteries have to sit upright, okay, because otherwise they would leak. Your gel batteries can go in a couple different positions. Your absorbed glass mat batteries, or AGM, okay, contains fiber matting that holds the liquid electrolyte. Think of if you dipped a piece of cardboard in electrolyte mixture, as an example, and then pushed all them together. Okay, and those would be the contact plates. Now, AGM batteries are unique and they can be stored in any position, even upside down. Okay? Because everything is absorbed into those little plates, nothing would drip out. Okay? So where you have a paste-like gel on the plates here that could shift one way or the other, okay? These can go in multiple positions, but AGMs can go in all positions. Okay? These are better for heavy vibration. AGMs are better for heavy vibrations as you are going through, and they have deep cycle capabilities. Number 18, the SAE, or Society for Automotive Engineers, and the Battery Council International, or BCI, have established the cold cranking amps, or CCA, for batteries. The CCA is the amount of current in amps a battery can deliver for 30 seconds at 0 degrees and remain above 7.2 volts. This is incredibly important for us that live in Wisconsin, or even northern Wisconsin, and because it is extremely cold. We want a battery to be able to perform in cold weather. 19. Okay. Your reserve capacity is the rating that indicates the time to take voltage to drop below 10.2 volts from a full charge if it is being used at 25 amps at 80 degrees. Okay, and that is its reserve capacity. Noted on batteries right here, as you'll see the RC. Okay, some of you will see this during your lab. Okay, reserve capacity of this is 110 amps. Okay, its regular cranking amps is 980. Okay, but if you put a 25 amp draw on this, okay, it would go 110 minutes before it would get down below 10 volts. Now, something to pay attention to on your batteries. Okay, there's a warranty period on different batteries, and each manufacturer has their own. 36 months free replacement, and then 100-month prorated after that. Okay? That means if that battery dies or fails to perform, you can take it back in and get a free one. Okay? And you can see the different replacement values going through. This is very important for you as a consumer to get the maximum amount of money out of that product. All right, a cold battery will not produce as much current as a warm one. At 0 degrees, a battery only has 40% power. Okay? 80 degrees is optimal for a battery. That seems counterintuitive. As we live in Wisconsin, it can get extremely cold. Okay? So you want a battery to perform, and you want to have your money. When you spend your money on a battery, you want to get the most for it. So pay attention to the battery that you purchase for your vehicle. Batteries do not like the cold. When we get cold weather snaps, that's why certain vehicles don't start. You may have heard about the Tesla issue last year when it got extremely cold and cars could only go 20 miles, and then they just wouldn't go anymore. And that's because it's a battery operated car. Batteries don't like the cold. All right, a parasitic load, okay, is any current draw present when all electrical devices are shut off, including the key is off. Okay. there is a test for this, and 25 milliamps is the maximum allowable. With all the new electronic vehicles, this has kind of gone up to 50 milliamps, and just be aware of that. Not something we'll specifically test, but just something to be aware of for general information. 22, if a battery case is dirty, you can clean it with baking soda and water. You would want to use a wire brush and a rag to get all of this corrosion off of here. Okay? This corrosion happens because on where these top posts are, they vent that hydrogen gas. That hydrogen gas is mildly acidic. We have two different types of metals here. You have the lead post, and then you have the copper clamp and the steel bolt that is on here. All of those are different metals, and when they react with a acid, they will start forming a corrosion. Those little green or red felt pans that you put down here helps disperse the gassing off that battery. And if you put a coating on these, it'll also help that corrosion on your vehicle. When using a voltmeter, to determine the voltage, always connect the red lead to the positive battery post or terminal and connect the black lead to the negative side of the battery. Now, when you connect these in correct order, you should get 12.6. If you happen to connect them backwards, all that you would get is in front of the voltage, you would get a negative sign, letting you know that you have connected them backwards. When disconnecting a battery for service, always use a memory saver connected to the interior power plug or cigarette lighter, to keep the vehicle's random access memory. So some of your control features within the car, such as your radio, maybe some of your power controls for your seats and other custom features, and you can use a memory saver plugged into your cigarette outlet lighter or the OBD2 connection to help save those in the vehicle. Number 25, batteries that are not maintenance free should have distilled water added if the electrolyte is low. Distilled water does not have any minerals in them, so therefore it is a clean liquid to put into the battery. Minerals from basic tap water can adhere to the cells itself and create little spots that limit electricity to go through them. Number 26, a hydrometer is used to measure the specific gravity or weight or density of the electrolyte compared to water. We can skip over 27, just put a strike through or highlight that one red. We can also skip 28, go ahead and highlight that one red. 29, a battery charger is a machine used to recharge low or a dead battery. Never attempt to recharge or jumpstart a totally discharged or frozen battery. When it comes to batteries, if you left your lights on all day, and there's nothing left in it, you most likely will not be able to charge it, and it is unsafe for the battery and your electrical system if you do charge it or attempt to jump start it. You would need to charge that battery and then put it back into action. And if your car doesn't start in the wintertime and it's crazy cold out, that frozen battery, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to have to bring it in the house, let it thaw out for a couple hours, let it warm up. In the wintertime, if you're afraid of that battery getting too cold, you can disconnect it and bring it in the house and take it out and put it in your car, and typically it'll start right up. 30. It's possible to jumpstart a vehicle with a dead battery by connecting it to a vehicle with a good one. So when we are jump starting, pay close attention. We start at the dead battery, positive, good battery, positive, come down to the good battery, negative, and then come over to the engine blocker ground. We are just making a little circle. We go to the engine block or ground, okay, because when we connect this, there's going to be a little spark because we just completed a circuit. We want that spark to be over bare metal of the engine compartment, if possible, because if your battery was to vent a hydrogen gas and you created that spark, that creates the potential for a fire or dangerous situation. So we always try connecting to the engine block if possible. Jumper cables, okay, or jump packs get connected from the positive of the good battery to the positive of the dead battery, and then from the negative of the good battery to the negative or ground of the dead battery. Okay, and we just go in that circle. Good. Booster, booster, back to solid metal or ground on the dead vehicle. Okay. When disconnecting a battery service, always remove the negative cable first. Okay, negative cable always gets removed first. 33, when disconnecting a battery for service, always replace the negative cable last. Okay. 34, when servicing a battery, always use insulated tools to prevent shorts. Okay. Electrical shorts. 35, during a quick 3-minute charge test, if the voltage goes above 15 volts, okay, that battery is junk and needs to be replaced. Another photo of connecting. Okay, dead battery to good battery, the engine block or ground. And that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Until next time.